We will take your calls a little bit later in the show, but as we do every other Thursday, we welcome in Ring of Honor member and Super Bowl champion Phil Simms in the Simms Spotlight, presented by Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. Phil, you got Schmeelk and Dottino. How is your third week in October going?
Well, it's going okay. This is going to be one of the rough moments of the week. So
yes,
I don't know what to
generally, that's true.
Look, I'm watching the game, I'm watching the tapes and this, and I go, oh boy, here we go. But hey, that's the NFL. It's rough, it's tough, and when you're in a situation like this, all you can do for the New York Giants, like every team, put your head down and just keep working and make it happen.
Yeah, Phil, and that's what the Giants are doing. So put your analyst hat on here. You take a look at what's happened to the Giants these last couple of weeks since we last spoke to you. What do you see, and what's the solution? Is there an easy solution? Just give me your 20,000-foot take here.
Oh, well, there's no easy solution. My gosh, no matter what it is, it's never easy. Even when you win, you look back and you go, oh, my gosh. It's things that I'll get to this. It comes down to this, just as I'm watching the game and really, as I watch all of them, look at the Rams. And, again, we've talked about this before, but it's what it's about. I don't care what you do. Look at the talent that they had. Look at the stars that were on the field. Look at the guys that could win the game almost by themselves if they play well. Leonard Floyd, Aaron Donald, the quarterback, Matt Stafford. He's as good a thrower as the football as one of the top 10 of all time in history throwing the football. So you look at that. Look at Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. You just keep going on. Guys that can make plays to win the game. Oh, that's right, Jalen Ramsey. He's pretty good too. So that's where my point is. No matter what you game plan and what we do and we think, sometimes when you're outmatched, you got to go out there and, of course, play a certain way and hope everything falls your way to win those games.
Well, Phil, on paper, how much, if at all, do you believe the Giants would be outmatched against a Carolina team who, by the way, is also missing their franchise running back due to injury, just like the Giants are?
I think the Giants, of course, match up a lot better against the Carolina Panthers than they did the Los Angeles Rams. Everybody has the same game plan against the Ram defense. Grab the ball and throw it as quick as you can. And, I remember everybody complaining, oh, Andy Dalton didn't take any shots down the field in week one. Well, I think we know why now. Unless you like getting run over at the quarterback position, you better catch it and get rid of it. And they're not only that. I'll get off. Don't mean to get offline here or off the way, but the Rams, good talent, terrific schemes too. So that even makes their talent even better. And that's one thing when you get good talent that you can start to coming up with plays to really take advantage of that talent even more. And the Rams do that on both sides of the football. I thought they had many elements in their game that gave the Giants problems, even if the Giants were at the top of their game and had everybody healthy and all that. All the defensive stunts they did, the blitzes. And on offense, man, they had some breakers that the Giants had no answers for. So not to get off on the question, and the question is about the Carolina Panthers. Hey, look, they've lost 3 in a row. They're starting to doubt themselves. Who's going to make plays for them on the offensive side? Sam Darnold throwing some interceptions. They got DJ Moore. Then who's next? That's the good question. So, this is a game without, get embarrassed the way you did last week. What happened down in Dallas? This is a game, and not to be Mr. Pep Talker here, whatever, but if the Giants are not in this game till the end and all that, that's a bad sign. They can hang with this Carolina team and play with them, and it's going to have to be good. I'm not taking anything away from Carolina, but the Giants play one of their better games. They can beat the Carolina Panthers, that's for sure.
Now, Phil, I know that you're very high on Daniel Jones. I am too. A number of people are. He did struggle last week. I mean, I don't know if that was remnants from the concussion from the week before. I don't know if it was just that they were outmanned and went against a very good defense.
Pass pressure might have something to do with that, too.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where the circumstances lie on the scale, but I would expect him to be able to bounce back this week, even though Carolina's defense is pretty formidable, too.
Well, it is formidable. All the numbers tell you that they're doing great when you look at the Carolina Panthers. I mean, their defense, the worst thing they do, if I remember looking at it, is they're average against the run.
Yep.
They do have some good pass rushers, things like that, but they're not sacking the quarterback. Well, sometimes that's misleading too. And, when you talk about, and I've heard coaches say this, they did when I used to do games, pressuring the quarterback is what it's all about. That creates bad throws, bad decisions, fumbles, many things. And if you can pressure the quarterback, of course, that gives you great. That's what Carolina hopes to do. I think they got to be a little disappointed in the way their defense has played here the last couple of weeks. When they have a chance to wrap up games, they didn't get it done. And I forgot what the question is because I got so many things in my mind.
Well, it was about Daniel's ability to bounce back.
Go ahead.
Daniel's ability to bounce back, Phil.
Well, Daniel Jones, sure. Look, all players, when it doesn't go your way in a game, and of course I lived it many times, the week is, you talk to yourself a lot, and you don't talk a lot to other people. You just go about your work because you want to make amends for what happened the game before. Did I look at the game too? It was very tough on Daniel Jones. He had to anticipate so much because of the pressure of the defensive line. That's going to cause mistakes, and he threw under pressure a lot, and some of those throws a little off target, which led to interceptions. But, I didn't look at the game and go, wow, if Daniel Jones somehow could have overcome the situation and the environment it was in, if he played great, would they have a chance of winning? And the answer is no. Too many other things were wrong on the football team, and the Rams are just too good.
Well, Phil, I want to then turn the page here, and let's go back to the Panthers, because the one thing that kind of draws me into their defense when I watch them is that they have just a lot of speed. Their guys coming off the edge are fast. Jeremy Chin's running around. When Shaq Thompson's healthy, and he might not be this week, he's got the foot problem, he's running around. And unfortunately, the Giants just put their starting left tackle and probably their best offensive lineman, Andrew Thomas, on injured reserve this week. So you can have Solder and Matt Parrott out there. Corey Cunningham's going to get some snaps as the third tackle. And they're going to be dealing with these guys that are coming off the edge with a lot of speed and a lot of agility. So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're looking at that, what's your preferred way as someone that played the position of quarterback to help out your protection? Do you like leaving extra guys in to chip? Do you like spreading the field and just trying to get the ball out quickly? Do you like a lot of run and play action? What's your preferred method for helping out in protection but still giving the quarterback the best chance to succeed with some options?
Well, all the above. I mean, you hit it, and you do everything. In other words, you always want to try to help them. You can help tackles in the NFL. In other words, hey, if your center and guards are at least stable, that allows you – it's hard to help them inside. But you can help the tackles with formations. It doesn't have to be, chipping. If you just reach your hand out as a tight end, which I watch a lot of games, and you just barely hit the defensive end, that's going to be enough to disrupt him to give you extra time and to help your tackle out. But, what's the weakness? Not a weakness, but as I look at the Carolina team, okay, running the football. Can you do that? Can you shorten the game? Can you get some – I love your idea, which is what you do, and a lot of teams do against the good defenses. Against the Rams, against Tampa Bay, they spread them out. They get rid of the football really quick to neutralize the pass rush, what they have over there, and all those are answers to your problems. Easy to say, hard to do. And if the Giants do win the game, it's going to be extremely hard fought. They're going to play very well, and it'll be very close.
Phil, on the other side of the token here, you've got Sam Darnold goes down to Carolina, the big trade from the Jets. And the one thing that's noticeably different from him compared to what he was with Gang Green is that he's much more willing to run the football. It looks like they're planning for him to run the ball more, and he's doing it, and he's been effective as such.
Especially in the red zone.
So please tell me what you see out of Sam Darnold, aside from this magical set of legs he's all of a sudden grown.
Well, it's something I think he realizes he needed to do. I'm sure they encourage him to do it too. Look, and get out of there. And that's really almost how you want almost every quarterback in the league to play. To run. And we've gone over this before, but when you run as a quarterback, you're aware of everything going around you. You decide how much punishment you want to take. Now, I will tell you, when I've watched some of their tapes and try to stay up with them this year, he takes some really big hits when he runs the football. I'm like, wow, give it up a yard earlier. And, I know he feels like this is a big year in his career and all that, but he's got to stay healthy. And they're taking advantage of that. He is moving out of the pocket quicker. And I think a lot of it has to do with they're not uncovering as fast as you would want as wide receivers. I think they got to be disappointed. Robbie Anderson not having the big year that, I thought he would. But, yes, I've said this about Daniel Jones. You got to use his legs. And somebody yelled at me the other day. I forgot where I was. And he goes, well, Daniel Jones, what was he doing running the ball against the Dallas Cowboys? Because he should. Because they want him to. And they need to take advantage of that great talent. And the guy was like, wow, okay. I was just trying to give you my opinion there. Don't get upset at me. But whatever you think, I do in today's game, the quarterbacks, if you have the ability, you got to use your legs when you can.
Well, Phil, was the guy that yelling at you a very tan, excitable Italian man in northern New Jersey?
No, it wasn't him, but yes, I know that. I know. Poor Paul. I mean, come on.
Hey,
Paul,
Phil,
it's okay if people disagree with you. My God.
And Phil, by the way, last week, you wouldn't have believed it. Paul got on the air last week. I was sitting here, and he silenced me. I didn't know what to say. He said, just give up on running the ball. We just should go out there and wing it all over the field and throw it every time. I thought I was sitting here looking at, Eric Coryell over here across the table from me. I didn't know what to say.
Well, listen, I'll just say this, Paul. That is a great idea. But the Giants need to put 10 quarterbacks on their roster then. Because they're going to be going down fast if you try to throw it and think you're going to do that. Did you watch the offensive line protect last week?
My God, Phil.
Do we see where we're at with this?
Yeah.
And let me say this about all football teams in the NFL. If your offensive line is playing subpar, you almost have no chance to win.
Yep.
And it's the most important thing.
Sure.
It dictates the whole football team. And as I've said, and I repeat myself all the time, I don't care, but I try to drive home a point. When we look at playoff teams, look who goes into the playoffs. Look who advances. It's almost always the best offensive lines that advance in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And I do this every year. I look at all the playoff teams and go, yep, almost everyone has one thing in common. Their offensive lines had good years. They're versatile. They can run, pass, protect, whatever. And that just helps out the whole team, of course, and gives you a better chance to win. That's easy to say.
Well, now, John, let's give Phil a complete picture here.
No.
I did say, Phil, I wanted to see screens, bubble screens, all the wide receiver screens, the quick stuff. I was not just saying go back there, 5-step drop, and get your quarterback killed.
That's not what I heard.
Well, that's a good clarification there. I like that, Paul.
Okay,
I don't way to save
Phil.
yourself.
Thank you.
But,
thank you.
listen, let's go to this. It sounds great. It sounds like, why can't you do it? But is it who you are?
Right.
In other words, if you watch the Buffalo Bills play. The Buffalo Bills throw a lot of screens, a lot of picks, and all that because that's their run game. They don't care. They're going to keep the hands on their quarterback, and they're going to get it to their receivers. But they've been doing this last year. At the end of the year, they got really into it. They did it during preseason when they practiced, and they've done it every single game. Just to say, hey, today we're going to throw a lot of screens and do all this. If that's not who you are on the offensive side, you can't create that in 1 week. And when I see the Giants, I don't see them as that team.
Phil, and I feel like the Giants' defense is in a bit of a catch-22 here also. I've been thinking about this a lot this week. I'd like to get your take on it. If they go out there and they try to man up, they don't get enough pass rush to protect the cornerbacks, and eventually someone uncovers, even if it's, that secondary play after the initial play because the pressure doesn't get there. They're having trouble finding a slot corner that can cover. If you blitz, then all of a sudden you're allowing some more big plays that like you have in more than you have last year. I'm just trying to figure out what the formula is for this defense right now because they just have not been able to get enough pressure on the quarterback, rushing 4, even 5 guys, especially off the edge. What's your answer when you run into that situation when you just can't figure out a way to generate pressure, and on top of that, your secondary hasn't shown the ability to cover long enough when you do blitz to prevent the big play?
Well, you bring up a lot of questions. And this is up to but it's up to Patrick Graham. This is a little different. You can create false pressure, blitz zones. You got to go ahead and do this. You got to find ways to upset and disrupt the opposing quarterback. And there's a lot of ways to do it without taking chances. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have made 20 years on it. blitz zone. I mean, Bill Cowher, that's all he talks about every Sunday. I hear him. He goes, they need to do some blitz zones. Okay, Coach. Every team in the league is going to do it. But it is a way to create deception without taking chances. That's the easiest thing to say. And if you are going to blitz, then it's got to be something, of course, this is easy to say, hard to do, something the other team is not ready for. And if you catch them by surprise, then you can get there before the pass coverage breaks down. So it's tough to do and tough to sit there and say, hey, I'm going to put DJ Moore one-on-one with no help out there, and we're going to blitz and try to get to the quarterback first. I don't know if that's the answer, but if you do blitz, you got to be sure that it's going to get there. The defense has got to be ready. But I do like the blitzing and playing it safe on the other side, probably more, especially for the Giants, the way their defense is playing.
Phil, I know we're short on time here, but I need to ask you, from the short sample size you've seen of Kadarius Toney, and I know he's hurt right now, and it doesn't look too good this week, but what do you think?
It's watching him in the game and just seeing him, and, of course, studying him in college, he pops on the field. He looks different. Early in the game, I went, who is that? Oh, that's Kadarius Toney. Okay, here we go. And he looks the part. He looks different. I think the Rams would have had a tough time with him, covering him. You can even see it when he's on the field. The confidence that he has shows to the way he just carries himself and the way he plays. So that's a big deal. I mean, come on. Toney, it just would go. The offensive line beat up. No Saquon Barkley at 100%. All those things, man, that's the NFL. And good teams find ways to manage a few victories in these really tough times, and that's what the Giants have to do.
Phil, final question. Just give me a couple quick keys to victory this weekend for the Giants. I think, we agree with you that if you play well, you got a real chance to win this game. It isn't a situation like the last 2 weeks where you're playing two of the best teams in the National Football League. So what are a couple things the Giants need to do on either or both sides of the ball if they do want to walk out of MetLife Stadium with their first home victory of the season?
Well, listen, I'm not asking for great protection of Daniel Jones, just solid, because I think they can throw the ball on the Panthers. I know they're ranked pretty high in some of their categories in the past. They're number 2, I think, in the top 5, whatever. But a lot of that is because teams decide, you can run the ball on them too. But protect Daniel Jones. I think they can throw the football. And, I had another one in my mind. I'm sitting here thinking about all these stats, which I hate doing. But that's the big thing. To do that, to say they're going to line up and just run the ball and have great success doing that against the Carolina front, I do not think it will happen. It'll have to be a lot about Daniel Jones getting protected enough to throw the football. And Paul, use the quarterback's legs.
Use the legs, Paul.
Well,
yes.
Can he outrun Hassan Reddick, Phil? Can he do that? Reddick had 5 sacks in the game against the Giants last year when he played for the Cardinals.
Well, he better be ready to run then.
Yeah, what a nice pickup that was for the Carolina Panthers. Hassan Reddick has just turned in. They put him in a great position. He's taken advantage of it. Man, we see that with so many players. And, well, look, they know who he is. They'll be ready for it. They got to have a game plan. I'll be interested to see. But it'll have to be, always it has to be creative. I think you guys said it. What do we do? Do we spread it out, get rid of the football quick? Do we chip to try to take some throws down the field? They're going to have to do all these things. And, of course, the defense, just easy to say, but just make them one-dimensional. And if you do, make Sam Darnold keep throwing the football. And, he's not a – what's the word for it? A shrinking violet. He will take some chances throwing the football, and if he does, you got to take advantage of a few of them when he does, that it works your way.
Phil, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks for being with us, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Okay, guys, thank you, and have a good day, and great to talk to you.
That's Phil Simms in the Simms Spotlight, presented by Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly.